All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the story of a true sports icon, someone who just broke the mold at every single turn, Charles Barkley. I mean, this guy is a player, a huge personality, and really just a walking contradiction. So, you gotta ask yourself this question, right? How does a man this size completely dominate a game of giants? I mean, the whole puzzle of Charles Barkley, it really all starts with a simple tape measure. Because in a league full of titans, this guy was, let's be honest, built all wrong for the job. Okay, so in the US, the official listing was 6'6". Now you have to understand, for a power forward, the position he owned, that is way undersized. We're talking about him giving up half a foot, sometimes even more, to the guy he was guarding every single night. And for everybody watching around the world, that's just a shade under 2 meters. Look, it doesn't matter which system you use, the point is the same. He was just too short to do what he did night after night against guys who were literally towering over him. So, how did he do it? Well, this whole physical paradox, it leads us straight to his legendary nickname. It's one of the best in all of sports, honestly, and it perfectly sums up how he took what should have been a weakness and made it his superpower. The Round Mound of Rebound. It's perfect, right? It tells you everything. This nickname is the how. He used that stocky build, that lower center of gravity, and combined it with just unbelievable strength and an engine that never quit. And the result, he became one of the shortest players ever to lead the entire league in rebounding. Think about that. He wasn't just competing with the giants, he was flat out dominating them on the boards. Okay, so he's an individual force of nature. But that incredible on-court dominance, it actually set up the next big contradiction of his career. And this one's a classic sports debate. Amazing individual greatness versus that one missing piece, the championship trophy. And make no mistake, his individual peak was wow. In 1993, he climbed to the absolute top of the mountain. He was voted the NBA's most valuable player. And who did he beat out for that award? Oh, just some guy named Michael Jordan. For that one season, Charles Barkley was officially the best basketball player on the entire planet. Period. And this is it. This is the central tension of his entire career, all laid out right here. You see one MVP trophy, crowning him the best in the world, and then you see 0 NBA championships. He got to the top, but he never got that ring. It's the big what if that follows his legacy, and it's the one thing his critics will always bring up. But look, even without that championship, his resume is just stacked. It's undeniable. I mean, we're talking about a key member of the original 1992 Dream Team, the greatest team ever assembled. He was drafted in that legendary 1984 class with Jordan and Olajuwon. And pretty much everyone agrees he's one of the greatest power forwards to ever touch a basketball. So a ring is one thing, but that's a Hall of Fame career, no question. Now, Barkley's story doesn't end on the basketball court, not even close. His impact off the court, driven by that completely unfiltered, say-anything personality, well, that created a whole other legacy. And it all kind of blew up with one of the most talked-about ad campaigns sports has ever seen. I am not a role model. Just because I dunk a basketball doesn't mean I should raise your kids. Wow, he actually said that on national television in a commercial. And it just ignited this massive debate across the country. What's the responsibility of an athlete? Was he right? Or was he just ducking his responsibility? People are still arguing about this one today. But here's the thing, and this is maybe the biggest contradiction of all. You have the public statement, right? He's yelling from the rooftops, I am not a role model. But then you look at the private reality, and his actions tell a completely different story. This is a man who has quietly, without a lot of fanfare, donated millions to charity, to education, to housing causes. It shows this incredible sense of community, the very thing a role model is supposed to have. So his playing career ends, and you'd think that's the end of the story. But with Charles Barkley? Nope. He pulls off something that almost no athlete ever manages to do. You could make a real argument that he became even more famous, maybe even more beloved in his second act. And you can really see that evolution here. He gets drafted in '84, becomes a global icon with the Dream Team in '92, hangs it up in 2000, and then, almost immediately, he finds a new home. He becomes a star analyst on TNT's Inside the NBA. It was a seamless transition. Why? Because that same blunt, unfiltered honesty that got him into trouble as a player, it made him an absolute game changer on television. But on TV, a great personality needs a great counterpart, right? A rivalry. And his bold, hilarious, say-anything style found the absolute perfect sparring partner in another larger-than-life Hall of Famer. And together, they created television gold. And that's how we got the Shaq and Chuck show. I mean, their back and forth, the jokes, the nonstop trash talk. It is the absolute highlight of the show. It turned inside the NBA into a cultural phenomenon. It's basically a comedy show that just happens to talk about basketball sometimes. And for his part in it, Barkley has won a bunch of sports Emmy Awards and captured a whole new generation of fans who never even saw him play. All right, so let's try to put this all together. What does it all mean? You've got all these contradictions, right? The player, the loudmouth, the secret philanthropist. What's the final takeaway when you look at the entire, messy, incredible career of Charles Barkley? Because really, that's the whole point. His legacy isn't just one thing you can put in a box. It's the sum of all these clashing but equally true parts. He's the Hall of Fame player who defied physics. He's the Emmy-winning analyst who completely changed sports TV. He's the outspoken guy who started national conversations. And he's the incredibly generous philanthropist who quietly gave back millions. He's all of it at once. And that really leaves us with one last question to chew on. What actually defines greatness? Is it the number of rings on your finger? Or is it a legacy that just keeps rebounding through culture long after you've left the game? Charles Barkley never got that championship ring, but his impact, well, it's still bouncing around in sports and media today, making every one of us think about what it truly means to be great.